My name is Spencer, and this is my testimony. So I always grew up in a Christian household. My parents were Christians for as long as I can remember. I think around the time I was in elementary school is when I first started to have panic attacks in class. I didn't really know what that was, obviously. My family didn't really know what it was. Teachers around me didn't really know how to deal with me, but it was a thing that happened. Eventually, for unrelated reasons, I got taken out of elementary school and was homeschooled, and they kind of went away for a little while. I just remember probably from around the time I was 10 onwards, just feeling like pretty depressed, just constantly, all the time throughout my whole life. I was still going to church, and I still think I had a relationship with God, and I was still praying and reading my Bible and stuff. And I was just really praying a lot. God, please take this away from me. Why did you give this to me? And then I think at around 14, my family started going to a new church that I managed to get involved with because my dad told them that I played piano. So they started making me play piano for the youth nights, which was a lot of fun. And I really enjoyed that. And I think that helped me some. But I think I was kind of still in this same cycle that felt like I was in for so long of just kind of keeping my depression private, not really telling anybody, but then kind of just praying, God, please take this away from me. Why won't you take this away from me? But then also just like not really taking any steps towards God other than just kind of sitting alone and praying. I wasn't talking to anybody or anything like that. And then I think around 15 is when it started to get really bad, and I really got suicidal for a long time. There was a couple times that I just really almost killed myself. I remember one time I was on vacation with my family, and we were at a beach resort, and I was just like a couple times throughout the week I got really close to jumping off the balcony. And then I think a little while later I just had like a breakup with a girlfriend, and then that like made things worse. And then I just remember I would just kind of hold my dad's gun in my hand and just like think about it. And then one time I was really, really close. Like I had the gun loaded and the safety off. And I just got a call from a friend. I was just like, hey, just checking in on you. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then I hung up with the friend. And then I got a call and then I about to go back to it. And then I got a call from another friend. And then they're like, hey, just checking in on you. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing good. And then I hung up, and then I got a call from my dad, and he was like, hey, just checking in on you. And I was like, okay, God, I think that you're telling me that I should not do this. So then I put it up and just kind of went about my day. Things didn't really get better. I still wasn't happy with my life and was suicidal a lot of the times. And I think the thing that really changed it for me is I had two really great Christian friends in my life who I felt that I could just open up to a little bit more, and I didn't tell them a lot, I just told them a little bit, and they just were like, hey, we really think that you need to talk to your parents. And I was like, oh, well, I'm fine. But they knew me well enough to know when I wasn't telling the truth, and then they kept pushing me, hey, please talk to your parents, please talk to your parents, please talk to your parents. And finally, I just broke down in front of my mom, and I told her what I was feeling like and what I was going through. And she was so incredible. She was like, whatever we can do to help you, we'll do it. So I got put on antidepressants and I got put in therapy. Those two things helped a lot. Therapy definitely helped some. But I think the real thing that helped me was my church had a thing called 21 Days of Prayer, where at 6 a.m. every single day, you would come in there for 1 hour, and there would be a short worship, and then we would pray for the rest of the time. My church did it twice a year, and I would kind of come every once in a while, and occasionally I would play piano for it, so I would obviously come then. There was this one year that I was basically playing piano half of the time, so I was like, I'm gonna do something crazy that most people my age wouldn't do. I think I was about 17 now. And I'm just going to go every single day at 6 a.m. I'm going to totally throw off my sleep schedule of waking up at 11 a.m. like every other homeschooler. And I'm going to go in early. And me and my friend agreed to do it. One of the friends that encouraged me to ask my parents for help. And we did it every day. And just really diving into the Word of God, really putting God first, and then also asking people around my church for prayer and just getting a little bit more comfortable talking about it is, I think, what really was a big breakthrough in my life. And then a little bit after that, I met the wonderful girl who is now my wife. So basically, I never felt a sad emotion after that. That's not entirely true. It's still always a little bit of a struggle. I think it might always be a little bit of a struggle. I still ask the question sometimes, like, God, why did you give me these thoughts and these emotions? And I don't know if I'll ever know, but I do know that I've been able to relate to other people who have had these, so I can talk with them about it. It reminds me of the story of the Israelites crossing the Jordan River. In the story, God doesn't just part the Jordan River when the Israelites get there. They need to take the first step into the Jordan before it would part. And I think, like, for me, that's what God was asking for me to do, is can you just take the first step towards me, and then I'll help you part these waters. Now, I'm still working through things, but I work at a church now, and I'm a youth director. And I think I've just been able to, in a couple different ways, relate to some students who have gone through the same struggles as me and relate to other people, which I think has been really awesome to see. I think sometimes when I look at my life now, I still feel like I'm not quite where I want to be in a lot of different ways, in my career and in my mental health sometimes even. But I think just like whenever I look back on my life and look at what God has done in my life, it's a lot easier to see where God has taken me. And I think that God is going to take me even further. And I'm just really excited for the future. I'll leave you with this. What's the first step that you can take in your journey towards God? Yippee! I think that's pretty much it.